Hello, welcome to this channel. My name is Omolade Adeyemi. I remain your fashion teacher, the CEO of Blouse Design. In today's training, I'm going to teach you how to sew 8 pieces blouse, like the one I'm putting on. This is it. This is the front of my blouse. This is the side, and this is the back. So how to achieve this is the training I'm going to teach you in this very video. And if you're new to this channel, please, we need you to subscribe. Please subscribe, like this video, show your love to us by sharing this video, and don't forget to ask your question and drop your comment. Any observation, any correction, we are open to corrections. Stay tuned. Hello, my name is Omolade Adeyemi. I still remain your fashion teacher, the CEO of Blouse Design. I've drafted the basic. It's going to be an underbust blouse. So I've drafted the basics. I've shifted my underbust. So I've done the necessary things. I've done the back also. I've done the necessary thing. The only thing that is left for the front and back is to spread it out, then give it a neckline. I've shifted the armhole for the front and back, so I have nothing left to do than to spread it out and to give it a neckline. So I've drafted the basic blouse for the front and the back. And what I did is I did the underbust contouring. I did everything for this line. This line I extended. This is the waist measurement from here to this point. Then I take the same measurement from this point down to the length of my blouse. The measurement I have from here to this point is what I take. I measured it down to the base of my blouse, and I joined the line down to the length. That was what I did here. You know, normally when we were drafting the basic skirt, what I did is at this down part, I measured my hip measurement. I measured the hip measurement for this down part, but for now, for today, for the pieces, because it's not a fitted blouse like that, it's not a fitted blouse from the waistline down. So that was why I used my waist measurement from here to this point. I measured it down, then make a straight line to the base of my skirt. So that was what I did for the front. And for the back, this is the zip side. You know, at the waistline for the back, we did ½ inch out to shaping our waistline. And so what I did here is I take that same ½ inch line measurement, I take it down to the length of my skirt, then I straighten it down. So here is going to be ½ inch also. Then I also use the measurement, my waist measurement from here to this point. This is the waist measurement, and what it gives me is what I take from here to this point. From here out is my waist measurement, not from here. It's from here out. So what I have from here out is what I measured out, and measured out. That was what gave me this line to the length of my skirt. I hope you understand that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fix a zip at the front part. I want it to have a zip at the front part, and also it's going to be a not really a turtleneck, but a high neck. It's going to be a high neck blouse. So let's get started. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out the basic of the pattern. So I'm going to cut, I'm starting with the front first. You can see I've shifted the armhole. I'm going to cut it out. Let me cut out the back also. So we are starting with the front. So I'm setting the back aside and start with the front. So the front, this is the waistline. What I cut here is the bust line that I took down. But I'm going to cut the waistline now. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to give it my neckline. to give it the neckline I want, because it's going to be a turtleneck. It's not going to be a low neck like that. So it's going to be wide by 3.5 inch. I don't want it to choke me, so 3.5 is okay. But before I commence with that, like I told you earlier, that I want the zip to be at the front. So what I'm going to do is to look for a paper. I'll join a paper at the front part to extend the front line, because I've not added that to the allowance. So I'm going to join a paper to the front to create my zip part. So after joining the 1 inch for zip allowance at the front, because I told you the zip is going to be at the front. So after joining the 1 inch for allowance, you draw the straight line out. You can, as you can see, it's 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. I joined and I straight it down to the length of my skirt. And another thing I do is, you are going to do is you draw every vertical line, horizontal line, you draw them out. You draw every point out. So I want you to remember, this is the waistline, this is the under bust line. Under bust line. So after that, you give it the neckline you want. Like I said, I want my neckline to have a collar. What I mean by a collar, like a bishop collar at the front. I mean all around the neck. So the neckline is not going to be that low and also that wide. It's not going to be that wide. So from here, I make it from this point where we have it before, I want to make the wideness of my neck not more than 3.5 inch wide. 3.5 inch wide. Then I'll bring it down 3.5 inches more. So let me make it 3.25 wide to be on this on the shoulder to bust line, on the bust line, sorry, the apex line. So I'm going to bring it down not more than 3.25 also inches down. Let me make it 3.5 inch down so that it won't choke me. So then I'll shape the line. I'll give it the neckline I want. Give it a shape down to where my zip allowance is. You can see I've extended the line out to where my zip allowance is. So that is that. So after that, the next thing we are going to do now is to spread it out. So the next thing is to spread it out. How are we going to spread it out, and where is the spreading going to start from? Before we spread out anything, we need to differentiate between the center front and the side front so that we start spreading. And where we are going to spread out from is from the waistline. We're going to spread out from the waistline out. So now I'm going to separate the center front and the side front. So let's cut. I'm going to cut it out. Before I cut everything out, I need to measure the shoulder seam. Let me see what I have in here so that we can fix the same thing for the back. So I have 4.6 here, so that the back shoulder seam will also be 4.6. You know, like I've explained earlier, or like I've explained in our previous class, that the shoulder seam has to be the same thing. So I'm going to set this aside. This is the side. That's the side front. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to spread it. So I've joined paper here on this side to spread it out. I'm going to join to this side also to spread it out. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name remains Omolade Adeyemi. I still remain your fashion teacher, the CEO of Lariche Designs. Today's topic is going to be how to draft your 8p6 blouse. I've drafted the basic, I've done the basic, I've shifted the armhole, I've done every necessary thing. The next thing is to start spreading. But for the front, for this 8 pieces pattern, I want my zip to be at the front. And I've added my 1-inch zip allowance at the front. This is it, use. This is it at the front. Zip. I've added my 1-inch zip allowance. I want the zip to be at the front. So let's get started. I've also give it the neckline I want. Then the next thing is to start spreading. So I'm going to cut this off. Let me set this aside and cut this off. The kind of neckline I want this 8 pieces to have is I want it to have a turtleneck. A turtleneck like that. So I'm going to, after cutting out this neckline, I'm still going to maintain this part of the pattern to help me fix my the turtleneck. So I'm not going to throw this away after cutting it out. I'm still going to use it for the turtleneck drafting. So let's get to work. So before I spread, I'm going to join this part together. I'm going to paper tape it down. You know, after shifting the arm, we'll paper tape it down. Make sure they are not overlapping. Make sure it's just kissing each other so that you won't have issues with the bust area. So after that, I set this aside. Then the next thing I want to do is to, as this shape is, I'm going to cut a little paper and trace this out on another pattern because it will be useful for the turtleneck I want to draft. I want to trace this out on another paper. Yeah, I've told you I want to draft a turtleneck, so this will help me achieve the turtleneck. I'm going to take my paper tape and my seam tracer now. And I'm not going to, because it's a turtleneck, I'm not going to start the turtle from where the zip is. I would have fixed the zip before fixing in the turtle band. So I'm going to start the tracing from here. To this part, then to few inches away at the shoulder seam here. So this is what I want. Sorry, I'm looking for my ruler because I need to trace it out with the ruler. So I want you to know that this is the front. I'll put this aside. So I'll start the spreading from the front. I'm going to join paper here. I've joined a paper here, so I'm going to spread here. Then I'm also drawing a paper at this part because I'm going to spread this part also. So let me look for a pieces to join at that part. So I've seen one. So I'm going to join this here also. So after that, I want to start spreading. What I will use in spreading is, I want to use 5 inches in spreading. So I'll measure 5 inches from this part. Right, before I measure the 5 inches, I want to draw out the line that is under so that you can see that line clearly outside. Because the paper tape has covered the line, so I need to draw it out. Then the next thing is to spread it out. I'm going to use 5 inches in spreading it out. 5 inches. Then we'll spread it out to the waistline like this. Then I'm also going to spread the zip side also by 5 inches like this. Hold on, please hold on. In case you don't know, we have an online fashion institute. We are going to teach you full pattern drafting training. We are going to take you from the scratch, how to use your machine, to the climax. You're going to be the best designers in town. For more information, visit our website on www.larichedesigns.com. So after this, I want to shape the zip side. I want to shape it. I don't want it to have a sharp edge, so I'm shaping it out by 1/2 inch. Covering it this way. Then I'll come to this side also and shape it out by 1/2 inch. So that's all about the spreading of the side center fronts. So I'm going to spread the side fronts now. So let me set the center front aside and spread the side fronts. So this is the side front. I've added my paper to the 2 sides. So I'm going to trace out the line under. So the next thing is to start spreading. But before I spread, I need to extend the length of the blouse out first. So now I can now spread. I'm going to spread it out by 5 inches. The same thing I use for the center front, I'm going to use for the side front. So I'm spreading it out by 5 inches. I've measured 5 inches here. Then I'll come here and measure 5 inches also. So the next thing is to join the lines. I'm going to join the line to the waistline the same way I did for the center front. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to shape it, because I said we don't want a very sharp edge. So I'm going to come here and shape it by 0.5 inches, that is 1/2 inch, and come to the side also and do the same thing. Then I'll shape it out using this part of the roller. You need to be careful of the part you use in shaping it out. So that's all about the side front. So now let me set this aside for the back pattern. So we have the back pattern here. After drafting we are done with the front pattern. So this is the back pattern. So what I'm going to do here is to do the same thing I did for the neckline. The same thing I used for the neckline of the front. What I mean is what I use as the shoulder seam. I'm going to measure what I use as the shoulder seam here. I think I have 4.6. So I'm going to come to the back also and measure 4.6. This is a 4.6. Then I'll give it the neckline I want. So I think 1 inch is okay for the neck. So then I'll shape it out. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to trace it out the same way I did for the front. I'm going to trace it out also at the back. So I'm going to trace this out on a plain paper like this to help my turtleneck. Not really a turtleneck, it's like a bishop collar, not a turtleneck. So now trace it out to this part of the neck. So let's see if it's showing on the other side. Yes, so I need to trace it out. So we have to know that this is the back. Then we'll set it aside. Then the next thing we are going to do is to cut out the center back from the side back. We'll separate it then before we start our spreading. So let me cut it out first, then we'll continue with the spreading. Like I always tell you to note this part as the zip side so that you won't mix it up. So the next thing is to join paper to this part and this part, also this part and this part, and start our spreading. So I'm starting with the center back first. So I'm joining my paper. So I'm going to trace out the lines under so that we'll see the lines very well before we start spreading. So I'm going to, before I start spreading, I need to extend the length of the blouse out to the new paper. So then I can start spreading. I'm going to spread it by 5 inches, the same thing I used for the front. 5 inches here and 5 inches here. Then I'll spread it down to the waistline. So after that, the next thing is to shape it out by 1/2 inch. And I'll shape it with my ruler. So that's all about the side back. That's all about the side back. So I'm going to repeat the same thing. That's all about the center back. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the side back. So let's join paper to the side back and continue our work. So I'm joining paper to the side back now. Sorry, I need to measure what I have here to make sure it's up to what we want. It's not up to what we want, so I'm going to move it aside. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to draw out the lines, because our paper tape has covered up the line, so I need to draw it out. So also to extend the length of the blouse. Then I'll start the spreading. So what I will use in spreading is 5 inches. I'll measure 5 inches from here out. Then 5 inches from here also. Then join the line to the waistline. Join our point to the waistline. Like this. Like this. And shape it out by 1/2 inch. Like I always tell you, for the side, you can shape this side out by 1 inch. It depends on what you want. You can shape it out by 1 inch, but note it's just the side and the zip allowance. You can do that. So you can't do that for this part. This part I'm taking, you can't do go more than 1/2 inch for this part. So that's all about the 8 pieces pattern. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching every of our videos. Please, if you're new to this channel, we need you to subscribe to this channel, like, drop your comment, ask your question, any observation, any correction, and don't forget, at every point of achievement, we are going to do a giveaway to our lovers. Please do well to keep watching. drop your comments and give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Bye.